Hello, my name is Mizanur Rahim. Today our lesson topic is gravitation. All of you are used to objects falling that you may not have thought about it. Why those objects fall? So today we will discuss about it. So this is our outline of this lesson. At first we will discuss about gravitation, then we'll discuss universal law of gravitation, then we'll come to force of gravitation of Earth. Then we will discuss acceleration due to gravity. So there was a person who thought about it, why those objects fall. His name was Sir Isaac Newton. He concluded that a force acts to pull objects straight down towards center of Earth. Gravity is a force that pulls objects towards each other. It is the force that makes an apple fall to ground like this, and it is the force that keeps all the planets in our solar system orbiting around Sun, as well as the Moon is orbiting around our planet Earth. It is the force that makes an apple fall to the ground. Actually, Newton realized that gravity acts everywhere in the universe, not just on Earth. And what Newton realized is now called the law of universal gravitation. Sir Isaac Newton put forward the universal law of gravitation in 1687, and he used it to explain the observed motion of the planets and the moons. What he stated that every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle with a force that is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the particles and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. The attraction force is known as the gravitational force, which is denoted by F, and F is equal to G into the product of the masses of the particles, and it is divided by the square of the distance between them, where this G is the universal gravitational constant, which has some fixed value of 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. And this M1 and M2 are the masses of the two bodies. R is the distance between them. It means this gravitational force F is directly proportional to the masses of the particles and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So now we will discuss force of gravitation of the Earth. In the previous slide, we have already discussed that gravitational force F is directly proportional to the masses of the particle and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And the force of the gravity acts between all objects. Now, what happens if the masses of the particles, if mass increases, the force of gravity will increase. And for that reason, the sun's masses is so great, it exerts a large gravitational force on the planets. And that's one reason why the planets orbit around the sun. And now, if we increase this distance between the masses, what will happen? Definitely, if distance increases, the force of gravity will decrease. For a spacecraft traveling Mars, when Earth's gravitational pull decreases, it means the spacecraft's distance from Earth increases. Eventually, the gravitational pull of Mars becomes greater than Earth, and spacecraft is more attracted towards Mars. So, what we have learned from this slide, gravitational force is always attractive in nature. Gravitational force is independent of the nature of intervening medium. Gravitational force is conservative in nature. It is a central force, so it acts along the line joining the center of the two interacting bodies, and it obeys inverse square law. So now we will discuss acceleration due to gravity and its variation. Actually, the acceleration due to gravity varies due to the altitude, due to the depth, and as well as the rotation of Earth. We are coming on those things later in the later slides. The gravitational pull by the Earth is called gravity. We have discussed about this thing in earlier slides. The acceleration produced in a body due to the force of gravity is called acceleration due to gravity, which is denoted by g. And g is equal to the product of the universal gravitational constant and mass of the Earth and divided by the square of radius of the Earth. Here, RE is the radius of the Earth and ME is the mass of the Earth. And if we put those values, if we put the value of universal gravitational constant, which is 6.67 into 10 to the minus 11 Newton meters square per kg square, and the mass of the Earth we all know 5.97 into 10 to the 24 kg. And the radius of the Earth is 6.37 into 10 to the 6 meter. So the acceleration due to gravity will be 9.81 meter per second square. Now, in terms of the density of the Earth, what will be the acceleration due to gravity? It's very simple. We have taken the density of the Earth as denoted by rho, and G equal to, earlier we have told, G is equal to the product of the universal gravitational constant and the mass of the Earth, and it is divided by the square of radius of the Earth. The mass of the Earth is, we all know, density into the volume of the Earth. And volume, Earth is a sphere. The volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r square, and it becomes 4 by 3 pi g re rho. This very simple thing. So now the variation of acceleration due to gravity. At first, we will discuss what is the effect of altitude. Okay. So this is a schematic. So it is the Earth's surface, and re is the radius of the Earth. H is the height. So the acceleration due to gravity at a height h above the Earth's surface will be like this: gh equal to g into 1 minus twice of height divided by the radius of the Earth. So thus the value of acceleration due to gravity decreases with the increase in height h. It means if we increase the height, the acceleration due to gravity will decrease. It is directly proportional. Okay. So now due to the depth. So this is Earth's surface, and depth is denoted here d. Re is the radius of the Earth, and this is the core of the Earth. So the acceleration due to gravity at depth d below the Earth's surface, will be gd equal to g into 1 minus d by re. And from this equation, it is clearly so that the value of the acceleration due to gravity decreases due to the increase in depth d, and it will become 0 at the center of the earth, because at the center of the earth this d will be equal to re, means radius. This whole thing will be 0, and as it is 0, this product will be also 0, gd equal to 0. So the variation of acceleration due to gravity g dash I have denoted here with distance from the center of the earth r is shown here in this line art graph. In this graph you can see that it is maximum in the at the surface of the earth, and inside the earth acceleration due to gravity g dash is proportional to r, and above the earth's surface it will also decrease, and it is above the earth's surface g dash is proportional to 1 by r square. Remember it. Inside earth it is proportional to r, and above the earth's surface it is proportional to 1 by r square. It will gradually decrease. Now, due to the rotation of the earth about its axis, let's see. So again, this is the earth's surface, this is the pole, and this is the equate, and acceleration due to gravity at latitude lambda will be g lambda equal to g minus re omega square cos square lambda, where omega, this omega is the angular speed of the rotation of the earth about its axis. This is about its axis, and at the equator lambda will be 0 degree, and the value of acceleration due to gravity will be g minus re omega square, simple g minus re omega square. And at the pole lambda equal to 90 degree, and the value of acceleration due to gravity will be g pole, which is denoted by g pole. It will be equal to d, because this whole thing will be 0, cos 90 degree is 0, and cos 0 degree is 1. So in equator, g equator will be g minus re omega square, radius of earth and angular speed of the rotation of the earth, and g pole, the acceleration due to gravity, which is, it will be equal to g. So at pole the acceleration due to gravity is higher than the equator of the earth. So what we have learned here, the value of acceleration due to gravity increases from equator to the pole due to the rotation of earth, and if the earth stops rotating about its axis, then this omega value will be 0, and the value of g will increase everywhere. Mind it, if the rotation of the earth about its axis stop, it means the angular speed omega will be 0, and the value of g will increase everywhere except at the poles, because it will be dipole equal to g. It means everywhere it will be g. But if there is an increase in angular speed of the earth, then again except at the poles the value of g will decrease all place, because this term will be higher, means this term will be increased. So two things, if earth stops its rotation, then the acceleration due to gravity will increase everywhere except pole, and if the angular speed it means omega of the earth will increase, then except pole, the value of the acceleration due to gravity will decrease at all the places, because this term value will increase and this subtraction result will decrease. Na? So thank you. And in next topic, we will discuss about mass and weight. So any questions regarding this topic which we have learned today?